Just a few housekeeping questions before we ask about Jack. Is Jack ready to play tomorrow?
Jack has been physically cleared medically. He's good to play. I'm not sure it's best to put him in immediately. I think he needs to get a couple practices in and then play sometime during the New York trip.
Jake Wallman?
Jake Wallman is not cleared to play for Saturday.
And Darnell Nurse is not on the ice.
Darnell's home sick. We anticipate he'll be good to play tomorrow.
And are you ready to name a starter for tomorrow?
No, I'll do that tomorrow.
Great, thank you.
Chris, when you have a guy joining your team when the season's already started, what's like the process for the coaching staff? Are you, going through extra video with him, having extra meetings with him to go over things, or?
Yeah, there's some extra meetings. Pretty much catching him up, everything that he missed through training camp. So no matter what, we get a player in October or maybe at the deadline in March, they got to catch up on what we're doing in systems, and you need to show him some of that stuff, but not overwhelm him and show him every little detail. But he's got to know what our forecheck is, what we're trying to do in the neutral zone, defensive zone, obviously those things. So there's some time spent with the coaches and getting up to speed.
Chris, when you look at the video after that game, what did you feel of your 5-on-5 offensive creation? Did you need to see more? Did you like it? What were your thoughts overall as a team?
Overall, I thought we were heavy, strong chances with the McDavid line, and maybe not as much throughout the lineup. Probably for our fourth line, I thought they had some chances. Rico's line, maybe in the middle six there, maybe would like a little more offense. But Calgary clogs things up, and they usually have a lot of players back, and they're not willing to exchange chances like some other teams. But we could use maybe a little bit more, but I think it's more collectively.
Chris, you have a couple guys that obviously, just based on numbers, didn't get a chance to play in the opener. Do you want to get them in relatively soon? Or do you see some lineup changes on Saturday to get guys their first games of the season?
Right now, we'll decide that tomorrow morning. There can always be changes right now with all the guys going up and down due to sicknesses. But right now, our lineup will look very similar to what did the first night.
And to follow it up, obviously with Jack coming in, there's going to have to be some kind of move eventually. Do you feel like you're evaluating still? Is it still a little bit preseason for you in that way that you're going to make some choices?
We've got some difficult decisions to make. Not only Jack coming in the lineup, Janmark in about a week, Hyman in about 3 weeks. We've got a lot of decisions to make, and typically you've got a roster of 13 and 7. And right now, we've got a lot more than that. So we've got at least one defenseman and probably 2 forwards that we've got to make a very difficult decision. So we'll let it play out. We don't need to make any decisions right now. We still have some games before that happens, but we'll have to get to that point eventually.
So do you see Roslovic as when you got Kapanen, another offensive player, you got him on waivers, you got this guy as a signing? They're both right wingers, offensively gifted as first-round picks. With Kapanen, you had to decide, okay, where's he going to fit? Is it the same with Jack, or is that different?
No, we'll have some decisions to make. And Jack not only is primarily played as a right winger, he has spent some time at center. I'm not sure that that's where we're going to put him, but I think Jack, one thing we want is more depth scoring, 5-on-5. And we don't need a guy to come in here to be on the power play. Jack might be on the second power play, but ultimately we're wanting secondary scoring. And Jack has shown through his career that he's pretty good at that. And I know last year, the amount of goals he had, I think maybe he had 1 or 2 power play goals. But for him to contribute the way he did, 5-on-5, that's a huge bonus for us. Now, who does he play with? Lines 1 through 4, right winger, probably somewhere in that mix. But we'll find out what's best for the chemistry of our team.
Did you anticipate Regula getting himself as much into the mix as he clearly is? And you've got competition there for those positions, and he seems to just be right in the fight there with those other guys.
Absolutely, Alec. We felt it could be a strong player for us. Probably where he is now, we kind of thought that's where he'd be mid-season, around December. just before Christmas, but the fact that he's come here and played as well as he has, yeah, it's been a nice bonus. Now we want to increase that and, you know, keep pushing him. We're not content where he's at right now, but, you know, we do have a big decision. We've got 3 right-hand defensemen who are all good players, very serviceable. You know, we saw in the playoffs guys coming in and out and being able to play as well as they did. So I know we have some decisions to make, not only for the coaches, but probably more on Stan's part.
What did you think of your penalty kill first game?
I thought overall it was pretty good. You know, they scored 1, which, you know, I thought maybe it was high sticking. But overall, I thought it was, I thought they did well.
Kris, how much rope does a guy like Trent Frederick have playing on the top line with a couple of superstars?
I think he's got a lot. I have a lot of respect for him as a player. And whether Trent's going to have a big part of this team, and whether that's up or down the lineup, he can provide a lot more in maybe a depth role, or he can complement skill like Leon Connor. So, you know, I'd look at how much O-zone time that line had the other night against Calgary, and I don't recall Trent, you know, getting the scoring chance or the shot or making the primary pass. But I know that he was around the net and making it difficult for the goalie to see shots and recovering pucks on rebounds and getting on the forecheck. So, you know, I don't know. So we're going to let that play out.
So does he play his game, though? Bud Colson's game doesn't change any when he plays with Leon. That's the way I play. Whereas Trent, when he's playing with 2 of the best players in the world, do you still see him out there saying, oh, I guess I got to get open, I got to do this, I got to do that, as opposed to just leaning on people?
No, I don't think so. I think as any player, there's probably a little more hesitation when you have the puck. And you saw this with Bud Colson last year and Frederick this year, and whoever playing with those stars, is you always want to give them the puck and you always hesitate a little bit, and sometimes things close on you a little bit quicker. So we encourage whoever's playing with them to play their game, make the play that's available for them, not overthink it. You know, that's easier for a coach just to say than for the player to go out and execute. But yeah, we don't want them changing their game at all.
So is it clear to say that if Hyman had been healthy, you wouldn't probably need Roslovic as much as maybe you do for support?
No, I think we're looking long term. This isn't a short term thing. Yeah, we got a good player at a good money that we think that can help us. So I don't think it has anything to do with the fact it's a little bit easier getting him into the lineup and getting to know exactly where he fits and who he can play with without Zach being here, because we are short a right winger. But you know, Zach Hyman's played a lot, not necessarily since I've been here. He's played a lot on left wing. So when Zach come back, maybe he's a guy that moves to the left side, and we have our right wingers. I'm not sure.
Kris, can you explain your rationale for having 1 defenseman on the second power play unit, and if you think that's kind of a longer-term thing, or if you're just kind of trying to...
Most power play units are a 4-1, and feel that that's best for the positioning and just having more offense. Typically, we've gone to 2 defensemen just because of the amount of time the first unit takes. And when there's only 10 or 15 seconds remaining in a power play, you know, there's not much benefit throwing out the 4 forwards. So we've got, you know, kind of both looks where if we can't get the 4 forwards out there and it's late in the power play, we have to go with 2 defense, then they're ready for that. But yeah, we'll see both.